Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. For 48 years, the Haynes family has been protecting East Tennessee homes and businesses from insects, pests, and the diseases they carry. Now they even have a wildlife division for big pests. Trust who I trust, and I trust Southeast Termite and Pest Control. They take care of my home. Give them a call this week. All right, back with the large panel, Chuck, Mike, Jimmy, Josh down here. There was a surprising coaching change. End of the week it was announced, Terry Fair out. And I'll throw an I told you so here. I got one coming later in the show too. But 2 weeks ago when Tennessee hires T. Martin, stood right here and said, these things don't end well when you hire your own. Well, we see it with Terry Fair, and judging from the social media, most of the response was, hate to see him go, but if you ain't getting the job done, get lost. VFL. But maybe he was a VF NVL. Vol for not very long. But Terry Fair out, Derek Ansley in. Ansley, of course, coached under Derek Dooley here. They're bringing him in from the Oakland Raiders.
Hate to see that staff
break up. As a Raiders fan, you hate to see that staff break up. Your thoughts, guys, on that move? Fair out, Ansley in. And it's mostly about recruiting. That's the word I've gotten.
Probably.
That's the word I heard too. That it was he didn't have a real good year recruiting, and so they made a move. Ansley's supposed to be a really good recruiter. We'll see. Also, Ansley has ties to Jeremy Pruitt from being at Alabama. They were together for a number of years, so I think that is a part of the equation.
Thoughts, guys, on the fact that Fair's out?
Yeah, I think that's really unfortunate. There is a guy that there was a lot of excitement a year ago when Terry Fair is coming back to Tennessee. He had started out his coaching career as a GA at Tennessee. He climbed up, was at Colorado State, and personally I like Terry a lot. So I hate to see that end that way for him. But I'd say there's no doubt that when we've looked at a lot of the hires that Jeremy Pruitt has made, he's hired guys that he has worked with and has had a connection with, and he's had that twice with Derek Ansley before he came to Tennessee, and in 2016 and 17 as well.
Well, how many guys were on his staff last year that he hadn't worked with before? You've got two that are gone. Was there anyone else on the staff that he hadn't worked with before last year? I'm trying to think. It seems like everybody else had a tie to him. So did he clean out the two guys that didn't?
I think you're right.
So
I think he had a tie to everybody but two of them that are gone.
But you know, John, there's a part of this that it's also a very human side too, because all of us know Terry. We've known him from, I guess, when he played, when he was in the media. So if you're going to hold Terry Fair to a certain standard, then you better hold your other assistant coaches to the same standard, because that's a pretty good coach in my book, and I don't really like the way that happened.
Well, that's the danger of bringing in. When you bring them in, everybody cheers. When you get rid of them, some people are upset. Other people just say to heck with you, which burns that VFL bridge. Terry Fair will land on his feet. He knew what this business was when he got into it. I mean, coaches get fired in that business. That's not going to curtail his career long term. But you hate that it happened at his alma mater, where he came back and was excited to be here, and then 1 year. And apparently he was given the opportunity to work off field, and he said no thank you, which I would understand that as well. There's also a rumor, so one VFL's out, and people are like, but now another VFL may be coming in. That's exciting. There's a rumor that Jay Graham could be returning. Let me show you what T. Martin put up yesterday on Instagram. It's cropped that way because they're at ETSU, and that's what the little stadium sign says there, back there in the back. That is Jay Graham on the right. That's Randy Sanders, who they were visiting with in the center, and, of course, T. Martin on the left. They posted that, and because they posted that, now Jay Graham's coming to Tennessee. He, of course, is at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher, but he has worked with Pruitt at Florida State. He's worked with special teams. He's a VFL. Ooh. It's just amazing that you out. Ooh, a VFL. Is there no recognition of talent here? Thoughts on Jay Graham? Is anybody buying that that's a possibility at this point?
Maybe he's going to ETSU to join Randy Sanders.
But I mean, there had been rumors about Chris Winkie and David Johnson all off season. I think last week when we put up a graphic of the coaching staff and said all finished, all set, or whatever with a question mark, I said, well, there's still rumors about Winkie and Johnson. We'll see if there's a move there. Is there, is this staff done at this point? How sure are we? Or are we not sure at all? Where do we stand?
I'm not sure. I don't know why anybody would be sure. But I do think it was interesting that for the National Signing Day celebration, they had Winkie talking about quarterbacks. They had David Johnson talking about running backs, and had T. Martin talking about receivers. And they had Jim Chaney talking about the whole offense.
Yeah.
Was that a hint?
Yeah, I mean, that's the graphic we put up last week that showed it broken down that way because T. Martin had kind of blown his job on the Facebook thing, blown the roof off of what he was going to be doing on Facebook. And they also had David Johnson meeting with running backs in terms of recruiting. So is that the group? Is it done? If so, will people be upset that now Jay Graham isn't coming back?
Yeah, and there was a reporter covering the Raiders that said expect Ansley to get some kind of coordinator title on defense when they already have 2 defensive coaches, and Kevin Sherrod and Chris Rump with coordinator titles. So, yeah.
Coco, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to have a
So
first
I'd say
down
lots of-
coordinator, a
He
second
can
down
be the
coordinator.
Toa coordinator. How good a recruiter is Derek Ansley? He's got this great. All I'm reading now is the Homer media. Fair's gone, but what a statement hire this is. They got Derek Ansley. We heard that last year with all these guys they brought. They're all ace recruiters, and then a year into it, it's like, well, really, it's just Niedermeyer and Pruitt are the great recruiters. Is Ansley that great a recruiter?
Well, I think he's really good. And again, it comes back to the comfort with Jeremy Pruitt. They've worked together. He's recruited in the SEC at Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama. The expectations are going to be really high for next year's class. Where we talked about Alabama and Georgia being, that's where expectations probably will be with T. Martin, Ansley, and now another year with Jeremy Pruitt as the head coach for recruiting next season.
And he was on, on Tennessee staff previously.
Yeah, under Derek Dooley, correct? 2012.
Yes, sir.
Last year.
Maybe it's a statement that they're paying him a lot of money, so, right?
No. All right. When we a little bit later, the NCAA revealed its thoughts on Tennessee seeding. We'll discuss all that a little bit later. But next, College Game Day, Rupp Arena. That's what you got next Saturday. Mark and Mike will break down the South Carolina matchup, the Kentucky matchup, and why is it so tough to coach in Rupp Arena? Why is it so tough to play there? Is it just the noise? We'll discuss. We'll ask Mark Pancratz who's done it. Come on back on the Sports Source.